In the next few minutes, you will learn how to collect blood samples from cattle using an evacuated tube system. If you are new to drawing blood, a standard syringe with a single-ended needle may be easier to use, but the collection process is the same. The evacuated tube system uses an 18 or 20 gauge double-ended needle. You may find the larger 18 gauge needle easier to use. You will also need a plastic needle holder and an evacuated tube. An evacuated tube has no air inside, which creates a vacuum to extract the blood. Choose one of these tube types, depending on the test or the service you need. The serum separator tube, or SST, contains a gel component that separates the cells from the serum. Use this tube if sending samples to your local laboratory. In the U.S., IDEXX offers a pre-labeled barcoded SST through IDEXX Bovine Laboratory Services. With either of these tubes, you or the lab will need to spin down the sample in a centrifuge later. For the Alertis On-Farm or the Alertis Rapid Visual Pregnancy Test, IDEXX recommends using a lavender-top EDTA tube. This tube contains an anticoagulant and does not need to be spun down. You will also need paper towels and a sharps container to ensure safe needle disposal. You can use a thick plastic jug or a bottle if no sharps container is available. If using the evacuated tube system, you will need to assemble the needle and holder. Remove the gray cap of the double-ended needle and save it for safe needle disposal. Screw the needle into the holder. For safety, leave the yellow or pink cap in place until you are close to the animal and ready to draw blood. Place the needle assembly and the tube within easy reach. You are now ready to collect the sample. Restrain the cow and clean the underside of the cow's tail with a paper towel. Lift the cow's tail to a comfortable position and measure up about 2 inches or 7.5 centimeters from the base of the tail, staying within the groove between the two bony ridges. This is the collection site. Remove the pink or yellow cap and save it for safe needle disposal. Insert the needle into the underside of the tail at the collection site, about 1/2 inch or 1 1/4 centimeters deep, keeping the needle perpendicular to the tail. Do not angle the needle up, down, or to the side. After you puncture the vein, insert the evacuated tube into the needle holder, stopper first. Hold the collar of the needle holder with your thumb and fingers and use your palm to push the tube in gently until the internal needle punctures the stopper. The tube's vacuum will draw the blood into the tube. If no blood appears, pull the external needle back slightly without withdrawing it from the skin and reinsert it in a different direction until you puncture the vein. When the tube is at least half full, withdraw the needle from the vein and remove the tube from the needle holder. If using a standard syringe, transfer the blood to the sample tube by puncturing the top of the tube with the needle. The tube's vacuum will draw in the blood. You don't need to push in the plunger. Immediately after filling the tube, invert it 5 to 10 times slowly to mix the tube additives with the blood. This is essential. For safety, replace the pink or yellow needle cap and use it to unscrew the needle from the holder. Replace the gray cap on the other end. Discard the capped needle into a sharps container or jug. You can clean and reuse the needle holder if it is undamaged. Ensure the tube label is clean and dry before writing the animal ID on it. You can label the tubes before drawing blood, but be sure to let the ink dry before handling. If using a barcoded tube, use your farm management software to match the tube ID to the cow ID. Follow all test and laboratory instructions for preparing, storing, and submitting the sample for testing. For example, EDTA samples for the Alertis On-Farm Pregnancy Test must be tested within 24 hours. For more information, refer to the IDEXX website or consult with your veterinarian.